I don't know about you Wizards fans, but coming in tonight, I just felt something was working right for the Wizards, and that thing that was working was Kristaps Porzingis. 30 points, 13 boards, 3 for 6 from behind the arc, 9 for 11 from the charity stripe, and oh, by the way, he gave you 4 blocks on top of that. That's the way you close out a year. Another double-double for the Unicorn. That's the 12th on the season that leads the team. Welcome to Postgame Live. Wes Hall here with the coach, Jimmy Patsos. Before I even ask the coach about what he thought about the game, let me just tell you a couple of things. All 5 Wizards scorers in double figures. This is 4-0, a win streak. This is the 4-0 for Gafford and Porzingis together on the court. I'm not done.
Are we getting
Coach.
a bonus?
I'm just here to help. Rui Hachimura, he gave you 16 off the bench. Then he gives you 13. Coach, I'm feeling good about tonight. I like this is the way we close this year. Now, put a button on 2022 for us and give us your thoughts about this game.
Oh, I just love what the bench is doing. Now, Gafford was an important part of the bench, but moving to the starting lineup has just given them a different dynamic. By the way, Kuz can play the 3, no problem.
Yes, sir.
He's proven that, which means he can play the 2 if we want to go really big. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Gafford's been fantastic. Rui's coming. You know, I really think Rui Hachimura was like, enough's enough. I'm watching from the bench. We go on this road trip. We've lost the first 3. I'm coming back. They beat the Suns. Okay? They play hard against the Jazz. They come back. He plays really well against the Jazz, but they don't win. They beat the Kings, and Rui's great. Okay, now he comes back, they beat the Sixers, and then the 30-point game speaks for itself. But tonight, the energy, the smiles, you can tell Rui is falling into a situation where he really enjoys coming off the bench. That's not for everyone. That's why Chris Miller was right when he said he's looking like a 6th Man of the Year award, because you have to embrace that role. You want to be in that role. You want to win, which he's helping him win, but he's putting up points. So Gafford's move over. Rui, Kispert's fine because he can go either way. But I'm going to have to give my 5-star belt to DeLon Wright again for just accepting that role of playing defense with experience and being the tough guy off the bench. What does this make? An overall team win. We just need to slide Real Deal Beal back in soon.
I tell you, when you know you're getting good results, when the team shoots 56% from the field, 43% from behind the arc, and knocks down 80% of their free throws. Again, all.
Can we go to the free throw thing quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
They're making free throws, and they're taking a lot of them.
Yes, I don't mind that. 20 for 25. That's what we've been asking for. You're going to get them. You got to make them. Coach, you know what we should do tonight? Let's ask people something a little bit for the future. You mind if we look towards the future? Biggest impact for the Washington Wizards in 2023. You can go to NBCSportsWashington.com/vote and make your voice heard. Is it the big 3?
Which is huge.
Is it the bench?
They're playing great.
Or is it the old adage, the best ability is availability?
I'm going with that. I like that. That's a Doc Rivers thing. Availability and health, because this team has proven when they're healthy, look what they're doing. Hey, against good teams, beating them.
That's what it's all about. So we got Coach in there. Let's go ahead and bring in Chris and Drew and get their thoughts on the night. And as a matter of fact, you guys can answer the poll as well. But Drew, coming to you first, how did you make out for the Wizards closing out 2022?
Tell you what, they finished on a strong note, a positive note. And I always talk about that, having some type of momentum, whether you're going out on the road, getting a couple home games, whether you need to close out in the 4th quarter, gaining that momentum leading up to the 2023 year, I like it. I would say I could work with this, CM. I like what I saw the tail end of December. During this schedule, it's been a tough road, a tough month of December going out west, taking your lumps, your bruises, licking your wounds, and coming out ready to play. But I like what I've seen as of late, especially when you talk about the big man lineup with Porzingis and Daniel Gafford. They were awesome tonight, combining for 41 points, 21 rebounds, and 8. Get those things up out of here. Going in a 8. They combined for 8 of the 10 blocks. And then 4-0. That should tell you right there, being 4-0 with that lineup. Good things to come for 2023 with that lineup.
I'm encouraged by a good team, and the reason why I say they're a good team is because they took care of business tonight. They were supposed to do that. Now, I know Wes Unseld Jr. is going to go in there and go, guys, we turned the ball over 26 times tonight. Got to clean that up. But I just love the balance. Drew talked about the big lineup. Look, they should have had this big lineup a long time ago, but I'm glad they have it now. And it's funny, Porzingis was doing a radio interview with Glenn and Dave, and when he was done, he was talking to Drew and I about that lineup, and he's like, look, if I'm shooting a 3 and we miss it, there's somebody down there that can get the rebound. or if you want to run some high-low action. Again, start making other teams look at the Washington Wizards and go, how in the world do we deploy a lineup against that? 10 blocks as a team, 8 by those 2, really speaks volumes. Now, as we go into 2023, I want to see them carry this momentum into Milwaukee. You split with Milwaukee, I call that a successful trip up there. Now, you got to be greedy. If you can take 2 of them, now all of a sudden the winning streak goes to 6, and now you know what happens when you start winning 6 or more games. Everybody starts talking about you.
Well, you know what I'm talking about right now, guys? 2 things. First of all, the understudies that you have behind you who are studying the notes.
That's security.
Who is that? I know who they are.
That's little Drew. This little Drew's my son right here, and this is my nephew, little Reese. Wave to the cameras. Let me get out your way.
Oh, our future Maryland
There you go. There you go.
That's what's up, man. Got to show love to the family. Now, to the basketball question I was going to ask you about is that third quarter. 42 points in the third. That's the highest they've had in a quarter this season. What is it about the way that they responded to only being up 9 that gives you confidence about 2023, Drew?
Hey, well, listen, tonight, if you could turn the ball over 26 times and still win by 20, you know what type of team you were playing against. It was no time to press the panic button against the Magic throughout the course of the game. Now, and that between the first and the second quarter, Wes, I got a little scared when I saw it 24-27 and the Magic kind of took a lead there. I was like, oh, what are we doing tonight? Getting this team some type of momentum, some type of confidence, having 5 to 7 guys out of the lineup tonight due to suspension. But you know what? Beggars cannot be choosy, and I'm the beggar because I want them to win as bad as they probably want to win. So I'm not going to sit here and nitpick at this, what they could have did better or what they could have did, what they need to work on. I think this was just a game they were supposed to win. They didn't take the bait. They handled their business, and now they're ready to look forward to 2023.
Coach P, you know what it's like when you go up against a team that's depleted or they've had a losing streak, and they're dangerous, right? All they need to see is the ball go in a couple times, and I thought the Wizards had the appropriate focus tonight on the road to get a win in a game where they were supposed to win.
See, I'm big on that. When you're supposed to win, whether it's college, high school, pro, when you're supposed to win. And it's nice you saw Markelle Fultz. For those of you who don't know, Miller and him go way back to that DeMatha days. I like that Fultz came right up to
I didn't mention that during the game.
See,
he's on their team now,
because you're
Coach.
a good person, but I will. But and he always plays well to just handle business. But I got to get you on this, Drew. Gafford being an old school center in a league that doesn't really draw up a lot of old school centers, but he's embracing that role, Drew. Like, what are you seeing up close from Gafford? And do you think that's important that he's like, I'm cool doing the dirty work. I don't got to shoot threes. Like, in the olden days, you didn't really do that. But today, he doesn't appear to be distracted by that.
Well, one thing with Daniel Gafford and me as a player, I have to work on and be as consistent as possible is what am I going to bring every night, no matter what happens, whether my shot is falling or not. And that's energy and emotion. And Daniel Gafford is doing just that. Now, he's walking into the building with being one of the top athletes in our league, but can he mix those vitals with the want-to and the energy on a consistent night in, night out basis? And when he does that, great things can formulate, especially when you play that big lineup with him and KP. Now, it's going to take, this is a process. He is a young player in this league growing into his role. He's played multiple roles. He's been a starter in this league. He's come off the bench, and there's been some nights where he hasn't played. So I think he's finally accepting, hey, when I have the opportunity, I'm going to make the best of it, but it's going to start with his energy.
You notice when he got hit in his throat, guys, somebody woke up the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
He didn't even take a shot before that. Got hit in the throat, and you tell him what he said to us?
Go ahead.
He came over during a timeout after he had a couple of those dunks, and he looked at both of us and he goes, I got more of that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love that. You take some
too.
adversity and you take it out on the opposition.
First half, Daniel Gafford had 0 points. He had 0 assists, 0 steals. Into the game with 11 points, 8 boards, and 4 blocks. I think the man got activated. Safe to say.
Hey, Wes, you said he should get hit in the throat more often?
Judo chop.
He got game.
You already know.
I always think about it. He got game. Denzel Washington.
Gentlemen, I'm glad that we can end this year on smiles and laughs because that's what it's all about, being able to enjoy your team winning. Chris and Drew, go ahead and enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll see you guys on the other side.
And you guys are doing a great job as a pair. The surprise of the NBA, Miller and Gooden.
Happy New Year, gentlemen.
Happy New Year to all you guys,
Thanks,
everybody
Coach.
in the crew. Nothing but blessings and prosperous to you and your family in 2023.
Indeed, gentlemen. Thanks so much. We'll see you on the other side of Milwaukee.
You got it.
Coach, let's talk about Kristaps Porzingis a lot because you and I were sitting here at halftime. And right before we went into halftime, we listened to his walk-off interview with Megan
I'm
McPhee.
really liking how he addresses.
That's the question I'm actually about
Guy
to
tells
ask.
the truth, but not in a negative way. What did he say?
He said we should have been up against them by more than that. And the reason I'm asking you this question is, how valuable or invaluable is it to have someone on your team with that much candor and honesty?
Look, it helps when it's one of your better players. Now, he is having a fantastic. I know we bring this up, we beat it like a dead horse, but me and you were here the night of the trade.
Yeah.
And we said, if he can stay on the floor. And now, I don't even want to talk about it because he's been on the floor so much.
Yes.
He's on the floor 95% of the time. He's going to put the numbers up. But he's also earning the right to be like, I'm not mad, but I'm critical. We got to play better. We should have been up more. We got to be a little more precise. We got to be a little more tougher. And what happened was they came right out of the locker room and took right off, and the Magic went the other way. I credit him for that.
I do, and I really think that type of honesty it's motivating, it's inspiring, and the honesty is a bit of a reprieve of sorts. Looking at his 12th double-double of the season again, 30 points for the Unicorn tonight, 9 for 13 from the field, 50% from 3, 13 boards, and like Gafford, 4 blocks tonight.
Like all of a sudden, you're racking up the blocks between those two, and as you said, Kuz is a big guard.
Yes. Who do you, man, look, don't even get me started on pick your poison with those 3 right there. I absolutely love it. But I want to remind people right now, we're looking at 2023 and the biggest impact for the Wizards. What will it be? Is it the big 3 with Kuz, KP, and Brad? Is it the bench scoring guys? You got Rui coming off the bench.
I want Beal back. I want health.
I do as well. And of course, don't forget health. That's most important. And I think Bradley Beal falls in both of those categories because we want him back in the court as well. But while you're voting, we're going to go to head coach Wes Hall Jr. at the post-game podium right now.